Welcome to Patriot XL. We've got special guests today. Woohoo! Well, and we got our number one host, Chris Greenman, and we have these two wonderful people down here, Mako.
No, it's Daniel and Megan, and Megan's a big Patriot, and so is Daniel. Daniel actually voted for Biden, so we're gonna get a pick on him a little bit. So that's gonna be fun. But you know what we're gonna start off with? I thought would be good, Lenny. It was a little Vivek Ramaswamy, and hear what he says about Letitia James, who's been seeming to have all the highlight lately. So what do you think about that, Johnny?
Sounds good. Roll it.
All right, here we're gonna go. You know I'm really good with this rolling stuff, so here we go.
Well, it's not on the screen, but it's cool. I'm really loving this part.
Wait, we can't.
We will edit it. When you get it up here, don't worry, I'll just edit it.
Particular individual as she campaigned on, then go on to keep a campaign promise using the legal system to do it. It's unjust. And this particular case reveals how ugly that is. In this case, you're talking about a crime for which there was literally no identifiable victim. The people who did business with Donald Trump weren't individual consumers. They were sophisticated financial institutions who made money from their dealing. And yet Letitia James is using a consumer protection statute to literally make up numbers and say, hey, you have hundreds of millions of dollars you owe. You have bond to post by a particular date of an unreasonable magnitude that even no billionaire is going to regularly able to. And to say, if you don't do it, I'm going to start disgusting. And it is to not only private property, but threat to the rights of every American.
Oh, all right. So bring us back to the three of us here.
Sure will. Let's make you on point here, Mr. Chris. Give us your take.
Well, that's something that there was no victim, and yet you have the largest settlement in the history of the United States, civil settlement, or not settlement. Judgment, and right there it smells like BS, like nothing else. How you can even fathom that kind of dollar amount when there's no victim. The bank said they were brought into court and said that they like to do business with Donald Trump. They wanted to, but she's and now she's trying to collect it, mandating, trying to shut down his businesses and everything else. This whole thing, and I think the Supreme Court's going to step in on this one. And she's already, it's with her guys she was in bed with, and the judge ruled that he can't. She has to take him off the case, but he's still kind of allowing her on the case, which is just crazy. I'd like to get your take, and obviously Megan and Mr. Daniel too.
I'm gonna get Megan and Daniel's take next. Whoever's in the box gets the top.
Hi, Megan. Sometimes. So I like to wear my sunglasses at night. So thank you for your time tonight. But why do you think the Supreme Court in the first place, did not even investigate the election fraud?
It's a great question.
We should start.
Well, there's nothing like starting off this conversation with the toughest question I've ever heard. But yeah, sure. We can.
Whoa, boys! You're really trying to. She's show busting us. She's putting us in a corner. How the hell do we deal with this?
Like my Ron Burgundy. But yeah, I mean, why?
There wasn't enough. You know what? Honestly, I'll answer that. There, and I'm biased towards Trump, and I can't say we all know that, but it doesn't matter. There actually wasn't enough concrete evidence for them to actually make a decision as the Supreme Court. That's my opinion. I think there was enough there that we all know that there was an interference. I mean, everyone knows that now, but at that time when they did rule on that, I think they were lacking enough of it. That's what I think.
That's pretty heavy, man. So what do you think is going to happen from this, Chris?
Well, this Letitia James thing, first of all, I think they're going to their own state is going to come down on Letitia and probably disbar her, and that would do everyone a service, because we all know how she got the job. So and it wasn't.
She won a roller skating championship or something.
Well, it wasn't like when you go to Navy SEAL training and only the best people actually get to stay, not because of other reasons. So I know that could sound a little bit prejudicial or however you want to say it, but it's just the way it is. I mean, you want the best of the best, in my opinion, for anything, any kind of job that there is. I want the best doctor. I don't want the doctor that got third place but he gets to get in because he's gay or a lesbian or whatever the case is. I don't think there should be any special circumstances.
I totally agree. I'm going to let Megan carry in on some of that.
So, in my opinion, I believe that there is a major pyramid scheme, just like my sunglasses at night, and it's basically where if you look at the Constitution and you look at this pyramid scheme that was actually created by many different individuals, where the Constitution started it was the workers, and then it was the ambulance.
Meet Matterport.
and then it was the court system, or the court systems sort of built into that, but then the government, and then what was written in the Constitution is that you should always give back to your government. However, they created the IRS, and then they went all up the chain where it is the companies. It is, it's the
John,
families.
Okay.
It's the companies and the families. So the IRS has been completely manhandling. So they're going up the ladder to stay in whatever part that they're in this, and they go down the ladder into us. And
Megan, is that a robe you're wearing right now?
Yes, I'm doing Ron Burgundy.
I'm glad that you dressed up for this broadcast. There's nothing that we like more than to see that. Is that two pair of glasses you have on?
Yes.
Is your dog eating a wheel of cheese right now?
Have you ever been to a Turkish prison?
Yeah, I'm a sunglasses at night kind of chick. So
Can we get Daniel's opinion on this last bit we just talked about?
Yeah, so but basically where I think this comes down to the Letitia James thing is that what they do is they buy out individuals in certain positions. And so
Absolutely.
And so what they do is they compromise you. So maybe you are, of a certain sexual preference or whatever it might be. They try to compromise you in certain ways where it becomes like to their advantage.
Right. Daniel, your take on the Letitia James?
Now, what's the question?
Letitia James and her role in prosecuting Trump on this largest settlement in civilian history. We'd like to see your face too. That would help. There we go. Oh, look at that. Come on, go. Keep on going. Keep on going.
It's like California stud dude over there.
Yeah, he's like a model.
No.
They're both models. These are like the power couple.
No.
This is the funniest thing of all time, dude.
My opinion on
SoCal podcast.
I've never laughed so hard in my life.
Well, Daniel, thanks for wearing a T-shirt. We do appreciate that.
He's usually just showing off muscles all the time, but yeah,
he's one of those bodybuilder guys, and he's got the Clark Kent glasses going on. He's looking good. Well, here, I'll tell you what. You guys pay attention to this one because this is another one I want to bring up for us to take a look at, and let's get your opinion on this one. All right, go ahead.
That settlement you're talking about, what they're having Trump try to get the bond for? Is that what you meant by that?
Yeah.
The $254 million, or no, it was more than that. 424. I don't remember the exact number. Let's just say it's a ton of money. It's like they're trying to take his net worth and lock it up. That's what they're trying to do, and then screw him from running because he's too distracted about all his money being locked inside some safe somewhere, right?
Exactly.
It's pretty much it. Made up because he said his property was worth a certain amount of money, and I talked to some real estate people in Miami, and it's very likely that property is worth that amount of money because it's one of a kind, and there's even empty land down there that's worth more than the evaluation he gave that.
And the other thing is, you've been in real estate long, like I have, and a value is what someone's going to pay for it. It's not necessarily, and you're not going to ever get a bank from any loan institution without them doing their due diligence and getting an appraisal on that land. They're not going to give unless they have something secure. So that alone makes this frivolous and stupid. But I mean,
and you said there's no victim.
No, exactly.
Absolutely none. So you get another share, Chris?
Yeah, I got another. I wanted to try this one out.
Steve has to go on CNN and give them their daily reminder that they are indeed
federal administrative police state. That's pretty strong.
That's exactly what's at work here, right? You have a federal administrative state. The police arm of that state is, for the first time in U.S. history, not only indicting a former president, but indicting currently a lead candidate against the U.S. president. That is not the stuff of the United States of America. That is the stuff of banana republics. Wow. And if there was ever going to be a case brought against a lead political rival for a sitting U.S. president, it better be locked down and airtight, not an indictment that fails to mention the most relevant statute that's actually at issue.
Yeah, well, it is, obviously, as you said, it is unprecedented. I should say that there have been democracies that have prosecuted, put criminal prosecution of former leaders because those times have been so extraordinary.
And here in the middle of an election.
And this obviously is very extraordinary.
He tears her up. Watch.
I disagree with the allegations. I do not believe those allegations because of, I think, the intellectual dishonesty in that indictment. So I think the federal court is actually, based on the precedent of the Clinton sock drawer case, where effectively Judge Jackson said that it is at the president's, her language, not mine, sole discretion as to what is and is not covered as a presidential record. I think the court will acquit him.
And they should. The fact that they are going
Wait, who's
after
this guy?
Donald
Get him
Trump
out
says
there.
not only are they
What's
Who was that dude, man? He wasn't
That was
invited to our show.
he hacked into our show? It was
Yeah, I'm not gonna have that.
so Vivek's making another point that basically what's going on here. That
With- Well, that you can't go after the person that the first the primary candidate for the Republican Party. You can't use the sitting president to go after that person. You know,
I see. You're not supposed to. That's not supposed to be power of your office.
that's a banana republic. That's what they do. That's what they do in Guatemala and all these other countries that.
Venezuela.
Yeah, like the president will actually, like what just happened in Russia. Putin, no one's going to run against Putin or they'd be dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not much different. They censor everything that you only see. Look at the guy from North Korea. I mean, he same with him.
I don't think he even runs elections.
He doesn't. He's just automatically elected.
No, Russia just has some pageantry.
Right.
They have like an election show, and then people watch it, and then Putin wins again. That seems to be the show. So
I would like to focus attention on Daniel for a second. We got the Megan in a row, but Daniel, we want to know why you voted for Biden.
Oh, that's a great question. You
Yeah.
voted for Biden?
Drugs are real.
the fentanyl coming. It used to just be other stuff, but now the fentanyl. No, I'm kidding.
Wait, you voted for Biden?
Wait, so this is great.
Okay.
She's just
honestly,
discovering this now.
I would like for you to leave my home.
Johnny Thunder, what do you think about that? I actually love Daniel, but
Hey, listen, Daniel seems like a good dude.
he's a great guy.
Yeah, but
Listen.
you know what, Daniel? You need to go home.
Well, I think Daniel's reaction is the same reaction every time I ask any Biden supporter what they like about him, and it's just not a lot to say.
No, that's not fair to say Biden supporter.
Okay, what's it fair to say?
That's not an accurate assessment. No.
I have a better way to frame that question.
All right, go for it, Johnny.
At what point did you change your mind after you made that decision? You're like,
Great,
this didn't
great
go
point.
like I thought. That's all I'm trying to ask. Not trying to pick on you or shout you down for what your choice is. Just like
I'm gonna
when did you change and go, damn, this gas price sucks. I mean, what was it that hit you? After,
Or like maybe this was a mistake.
That would go more towards Newsom than Biden. It just not every policy.
You voted for Biden? Like that is like a game changer.
Chris,
I don't think. Daniel, you're not saying a lot, man. I need your help on this, man.
what can I say?
I mean, no, I think Johnny asked you a great question. At what point did you make?
I know. Okay, sorry.
So Johnny's question was, at what point did you say, hey,
Yeah.
maybe I messed up. Maybe Biden wasn't the choice that I should have went for.
Yeah, as I described to you or explained to you at the time, we were in the pandemic. Who did I feel that was gonna have more experience in getting us out of it?
Well, experience because he's like 100 years old. You got that one for sure.
That you've got 2008, the debacle in 2008 with the housing market. All right, with the So it was a very selfish. It was a very selfish.
Well, who would you vote for today?
Who are my options?
You have two, and you have to vote for one of them. And
Who are my
one's has
options?
orange hair, one has orange hair, and one's got white hair and is halfway in the grave.
I have to vote. Oh yeah,
You have to vote. Pretend we're in North Korea and they're going to kill you if you don't vote. Who do you vote for? We can edit this silence too, but
It's okay. I'm just gonna take AI and then
Oh yeah, I'd vote for Trump.
yeah.
Yes, you know what? I respect that, and I can understand why you did vote the way that you did. Though I understand it. I look at it from both sides because it just depends what media you were taking in, or what your friends were, where your group was, where you're walking around, and what was coming into your how you saw the world from that lens. I think that's how I went.
I mean, my dad only watched CNN, so that's what he actually thinks that's real news. So he's brainwashed, and I can't blame him for that. But when you when I show him some different things,
and all the news channels today, it's just all opinion based. Anyway, there's no like true news. You gotta actually go out and find your own.
right, that's true.
Because there's no like one true media like source that reports the facts anymore.
Well, until Patriot XL,
Like yesteryear,
until
where,
Patriot XL,
you know, Dan Rather and all those guys back in the 60s, 70s, even 80s were, you know, actually reporting hard news.
Right.
It's all opinion now.
Right.
You know?
Good point.
It's gonna change. I mean, I think it's becoming more independent like this. And we, you know, we're not out with our press passes out in the street beating the road down yet, but we may do that at some point. You know, it's not like we're afraid to, but it's a long drive to the news, especially in California traffic.
Yeah, really,
If you
really,
are within
really, yeah, that's a good point. I still want to know who that guy in the bottom of the screen was during that last segment.
I don't know. We were using his video and then he was hanging out in it. And so he looked like he was our guest. He was the fourth square in Hollywood Squares. I don't know who that dude was. He's hanging down there, the Johnny Appleseed at the bottom.
Well, I do. I wanted to play one more segment, get off of Ramaswamy, and go to maybe Mark Levin. I think Megan, you like Mark Levin, right?
Okay. Do you know how many people I look up all day long? Oh, hell yeah.
Him.
Mark. Yeah. Sorry.
All right. That's okay. So let's check
my
out this. Just check out this a little bit. He's going to go off on.
He's probably the most intelligent, prolific person I've ever studied or listened.
All right. Let's hear what he has to say right here.
Last night's program, I began what I call a two-part argument on why the Democrat Party is a totalitarian party, a party we've never really seen in the United States of America, not a typical American party. They've imported their ideas of Marxism, quasi-fascism, economic socialism, mostly from Europe, and in Europe, mostly from Germany. And that's what you're seeing today with Biden and Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. That's what we saw with Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama. That's what we see without our media. So it's not a normal political party in a democratic environment. It is an autocratic party. In fact, it is a totalitarian party. Now, as I said last night, their goal is to imprison Donald Trump. You don't bring 91 felonies in 4 different jurisdictions by Democrat prosecutors in mostly Democrat cities with Obama judges, Biden judges, or Democrat elected judges if you don't mean to put somebody in prison. I don't mean just to indict them, just to convict them. You want to put that person in prison, and they want to do it fast. Why? They want to clear the field. What are you talking about, Mark? They actually want Joe Biden to run without a Republican opponent. Just as a scenario, if Donald Trump were convicted and sentenced and put in jail in November, God forbid, what would the Republicans do? How would they have a nominee? There's no convention. There's no process. Understand, America, this is what's going on. This is the logical procession of what they are trying to do. Clear the field, eliminate the Republican nominee. That is what they've been doing now for over a year.
And I think that's right. I mean, that's kind of enough on this. I mean, to get the feel of what they're doing, and that's the biggest problem. Is like they're really trying to put him in jail. I mean, like he said, you don't bring that many counts, that many felonies on one person unless your goal is just to put him in jail, and that's clearly shown. And that's adds to another reason why you just can't have this in this country and say it's a democracy.
They're going at him harder than Gotti, man. You know, what do you guys think? I mean, that's like the John Gotti persecution of the president, and never in the history of America have we ever seen a president trying to come get elected again and being hit with like 900 court cases. That may be an exaggerated number, but it might as well be.
No, it's unprecedented. It's freaking totally crazy. I mean,
well, projection is reflection, as reflection is projection. So what?
So those that don't know what that means, explain that.
Okay, so it's the mirror effect. So you're mirroring yourself onto somebody else. So they're projecting their own fear of what's going to happen to them. So they're reflecting it like a mirror.
Johnny, what do you think about that? Johnny Thunder?
Well, I thought he was Johnny Thunder for a second. I don't know why.
No, that's Daniel Thunder. That's Daniel Lightning.
Daniel Thunder? That's Daniel Thunder.
Daniel Lightning.
I don't know. I'm just like looking at this whole thing. I'm like, this can't be real. This is a charade. I think that a lot of politics have become theatrics. I think we're watching the greatest days of our lives, or Dallas or Falcon Crest, but with all these people, and it's like, is it really about what they're trying to do, or are they steering it up like it's real because we have real positions, but we're really acting and we're getting really excited over here, and we're we get the show going on for you, trying to get you motivated, man. Check us out. We're going to fight with each other. We're going to try to sue him 200 times. And it's like, are you doing this for social media clout like kids? What the hell is going on? That's what I'm thinking.
Do you ever button your top button on your shirt Johnny?
You know
like
what?
that, like the second button. Do you ever think about maybe doing that, or do you like really showing that chest off?
Well, I had this medallion. It was a falcon eating a snowman, and it fell off on my morning jog. So I've just left it open, hoping to one day replace it and fill that space on
A
my
falcon
Pittsburgh.
eating a snowman, huh?
Yeah, over here.
Man,
My,
I
my
want to get that
Pittsburgh.
emblem.
She's just like, how do I follow that crap?
Megan can handle it if anybody can. That's for sure.
Do you like Fauci? This is Fauci.
Is it Fauci? Oh my gosh.
No.
Do you guys play hacky? Do you guys play hacky sack with them when you have a few beers or what?
You know, he plays with this guy right here. He plays with him.
Oh my goodness.
It's like show and tell. It's like,
Chris, I like this. I'd like to see your doll collection, Chris. Is yours
sure. Let me
possible?
get mine. Hold on one second. Let's see what I can get. I think I have one right in here. There we go. Here's mine. Ready? Put me on the main screen. Put me on the main screen.
Yeah, Fauci, and so there's my. He's
Actually,
the gnome.
Actually,
He's
Megan
the
got me
gnome
this.
a-hole. Oh yeah, that's. But this is the gnome a-hole of all time.
Oh,
Because, yeah, but I wrote on here. What did I write?
was that an adult bookstore purchase? That
And you can bleep me out. I said
that's a pretty good one. I like these shows when they're candid and raw. You know, and we need to get sponsored by some different herbal essence.
This is my boy. This is my new boyfriend.
I like him.
Yeah, he looks very studious.
He looks like a Swedish Nordic.
A Swedish. That's pretty good. Hey, well, Johnny, I gotta cut out on this show because we have an interview with the someone that's running for Senate, Mr. Steve Garvey. So I gotta go meet with them and hopefully have some stuff for us tomorrow.
Oh, that'll be great, man.
Hey, Sarah. Yeah, so I think that'd be great.
I think it's been a fun show.
You've definitely, Megan, you definitely contributed to. You definitely, and Daniel, you guys, good stuff. That's all I can say.